Okay, so we didn't went 8 for 8. Now we creeping up on the subject that's very important: spiritual services industry. Now, if I was to say, hey, I started and coined the phrase spiritual service industry, they may hate. They may say, hey, that's a general term. We didn't heard it before. You tell me. I don't know. I ain't got nothing to say about that. All I got to say is, we're going to start this one how we start. We're going to start this one how we start all of them, y'all. We're going to get into spiritual services industry. Flip. When you look at the image, man, what we got going on here? Spiritual service industry, which is page 10 of the End of Poverty. What we got going on?
Look like an ancient statue of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah. That's the Vedic faith. Okay. Nevertheless, all faiths, all thought forms who acknowledge higher powers, other powers throughout the universe, and the spiritual value that those powers have. That's what this is about. Using those spiritual powers, assets that are spiritual in nature, to benefit humanity. So we're going to talk about the spiritual services industry in this one right here, the 9th podcast of the End of Poverty. Alex, let them know what the spiritual services industry is all about.
You got it. The spiritual service industry, SM, is a new faith-based industry founded by Kyo Mansa in 2026. It is centered on the belief that acts on love, such as compassion, generosity, mentorship, caregiving, and faith-based service, have real measurable economic value that can be monetized using alternative value transfer systems. Within this framework, spiritual services include actions performed for the benefit of humanity, whether they are offered freely as gifts or provided in exchange for compensation. The new industry seeks to recognize these contributions as an important part of human development and community well-being. The spiritual service industry is founded on the belief that spiritual services are valuable assets for productive activity that strengthens individuals and communities. Rather than measuring success solely on financial profit, the model emphasizes the creation of trust, cooperation, goodwill, and healthy relationships. In this view, every meaningful act of service contributes to the social fabric of the community and supports long-term prosperity by encouraging people to invest in one another's well-being. According to the proposed principles of Mensaism, voluntary faith-based acts of love, such as showing compassion and helping people, are viewed as creating spiritual assets that serve as the fabric of social trust and community resilience. These spiritual assets have never been categorized, assessed, or accounted for as financial assets under conventional accounting, yet by adhering to legal standards, Kyo Mansa has developed to monetize love in its various forms for the benefit of humanity, which allows for those who engage in positive social impact to be properly incentivized. By encouraging communities to recognize love, compassion, and service as meaningful contributions to human development, Mensaism seeks to inspire new approaches to poverty prevention, wealth creation, and social responsibility. Its central goal is to encourage more responsible uses of human capital and a greater investment of people to develop sustainable communities who maintain productivity via acts of love and service. Mensaism equals creative consciousness as applied to the monetization of love for the benefit of humanity.
Now, that was Christ consciousness as applied to the monetization of love for the benefit of humanity. This is what we're talking about, y'all. I guarantee you part of the spiritual service industry. And I'm here to say it has not been treated as an industry with a system that allows for poverty to be totally prevented, wealth to be created, and everything to keep on having. Love gotta have its way. This is the day that love has its way. Spiritual services industry is here to stay. 2026 is the time it got on the plate. According to their dates, we already know what it is, what it's going to be, what it was, ain't what it ever going to be again. This is about infinite wealth capacity actually being utilized for solutions of humanity. We talking about we got a capacity for infinite wealth, y'all. Love is the source of value. spiritual services industry is about to be booming. I perceive it's going to grow into being the number one industry of the world. Now, all I gotta say is, we just went there for 9